Greetings, magnificent souls, to the Lilli Bewley podcast, where we have open and honest discussions about ourselves. This is your host, Lilli Bewley, and I'm honored to have conversations here with thought leaders, visionaries, healers, and even solo conversations with myself about things I am currently reflecting on. This is a place where we break down, break away, and break through our emotional trauma, allowing ourselves to be healthy, be happy, and live a peaceful life. We are tired of being sick and tired. We are tired, but we are not giving up. We know that there is something magnificent inside of us. And because we are fighting daily, hourly, and by the minute, fighting ourselves, our jobs, our unhappiness, we have to do things differently. We have to break this cycle. We don't have a million chances. We have to be happy now. We have to find a way. So how do we do that? How is that possible? If you look around at what society is telling you, they tell you that what we're doing is impossible, yet it's happening every single day. And it's happening through the practice and the love that we call awakening the magnificent soul. We are all magnificent souls, and these are our stories of healing. Today in episode 136, you got that right, a solo episode today about how the dating apps prepared me to meet my love in real life. Juicy. It's going to be a juicy one. Excuse me. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts about this episode or anything you would like me to cover on future podcasts by dropping me a DM on Instagram. Remember, it is a safe place and I would welcome the discussion. And also a request, if you are enjoying the show, please rate and share and review so we can get out the word out to more and more souls who really want to heal. And now on to today's episode. So I've been thinking about this actually for a while. I've been thinking about how, who would have known that we could have a different experience with the dating apps. So I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about how my experience was before I did my healing, and then how it was after and during I do my healing. And I'm going to put this here too. When I say do my healing, there's really no other way to to put it out in words other than heal. But there is no end game to healing. Healing is it's a paradigm shift. It's a value in your life. It's not a one and done, here I am, heal type of thing. And I'm saying this to all the parts of you that are listening, y'all, because I can tell you from my experience is that a part of me really, really thought that if I reach this pinnacle, if I reach this goal in my personal development, if I heal, quote unquote, then everything is going to be perfect. I'm going to have everything that I want in life. I'm going to have love. I'm going to have money. I'm going to have success. I'm going to have career. I'm going to have my business. The truth is, what I've learned is that really the love that you find is in the process of finding yourself. And so healing is a process. So I want to put that there because I know I put a lot when I go on other podcasts and what I put out there publicly. I say, heal, heal, queen, heal and become the magnetic woman you were meant to be. And healing is, for me, and I hope for you, is that it's a process. It's a continuous process of unlayering, continuous. It's the knowing that there is always something that you can unravel and unlayer to become this beautiful beacon of light, of love in your business, wherever, in whatever area of life that you are really, struggling with right now. So there's that. So I wanted to talk today about how the dating app really prepared me for meeting my epic love in real life. And I want to say this too, there's a lot of people that, a lot of my peers out there, other coaches that say, don't get on the dating apps. Or they'll say, even your friends and your family, maybe, because this is what happened with me. They will say, oh, you need to do this on your app. You need to make sure you have this. You need to make sure that you have a full body picture. Don't get too deep on the apps. Just sound fun and look like you're busy. Look, y'all, and I say this with like hard love, there is no tip, trick, strategy, or hack on the apps that is going to bring you your epic love. The opportunity that you have using the dating apps is to learn how to have a different experience with dating in so many different levels. Like, to get on, like, you're asking, like, well, Lilli, what's the different experience? There's so much, it's too much here in this space. It's actually everything that I teach. So check out Dating You, which launched last month. But the different experience is to be calm, to have discernment, to not be frustrated, to not be confused, to not set standards with yourself and your body. For example, promising yourself that you're not going to have sex, but then you go have sex. That cycle it's a pattern. I mean, it's a toxic pattern within yourself that you really, really have the opportunity to heal. And what I found is that the dating apps allowed me, although, at times not fun. So I'm not going to like gaslight that part of the experience. At times it was a painful growth experience, which is, I mean, like, that's growth, right? But what it did allow me to do is it allowed me to find my voice. It allowed me to find my expression. It allowed me to be comfortable with who I am, which is a deep ass person. Not gonna lie, like, that's who I am. And I tried to skirt around that for a while. I mean, a while as in like years on the apps. And if you're going through that like delete and download cycle is what I call it, and there's like some anger and frustration and confusion and avoidance. Like, I would go for like probably like, I don't know, it was like maybe 3 to 5 months on not being on the apps, and all of a sudden I would get on the apps and it would be just like this whirlwind of anxiety and overwhelm and overthinking. So I wanted to tell you that you're not alone in this. You are not alone, and it's not going to be like a snap your finger type of thing. Lilli says I need to learn from the apps. What it takes is some work on your dating nervous system. It takes some work on the inner healing that you have to do in order to find your voice within this context, to really figure out what the values are that you have and that you're really looking for. And it's so much more, y'all, than this practice of writing a letter to your soulmate and he's going to come find you. It's so much more than that, because you have to put yourself out there to even be available. Attraction is an energy. Magnetism is an energy that you put out there. And in order to do that, I mean, I always say, and this really simplifies the process, but becoming who you are, being able to communicate who you are, being able to speak your voice with confidence and discernment, being able to say yes when you mean that yes, say no when you mean no, it's a skill. And the only way that you ever like learn how to dribble a basketball or read a book or do what you're really good at your job is to do it over and over again, and even fail sometimes. So this is your opportunity to go to school. Well, I say go, join Dating You, which is my school for magnetic relationships, and we'll go through this process together so you can learn even quicker. That's my plug. But you're not alone in this cycle of confusion, frustration, delete and download. Maybe, using your body as a tool for love and connection, which is, I did that for years. So it's all good, no shame here, no judgment. And we have the opportunity to change that. And that's why I'm here. So sorry for the pause. I know it's a little bit awkward when you're listening to this. I was just thinking about where I need to go. yeah, I just want to again say that you're not alone. And I know that you do not want to repeat the same mistakes of the past, and you see a pattern, and maybe you've done some work before. It takes a lot. It takes some inner unlayering, takes some healing, some really deeper healing on the inside to get to this place of where we are. So um let's just assume that there is no tip, trick, strategy, or hack on the dating app. Let's just assume that even though you've written your letter to your soulmate, he hasn't come yet. And let's assume that you've written out the qualities that you want in a partner, maybe financially stable, maybe no kids, maybe wants kids, whatever it is. Great work so far. What I'm going to say, and I say this with love, is that is not enough. Because if you're at all like me, you may, again, like go for 3 or 5 months or whatever, not being on the apps, and then you get on the apps. And I remember when I used to get on the apps, it was like this like rush. It's almost like this rush of like energy and anxiety sometimes, but also excitement, right? The messages that I would get, there would be too many. It would be overwhelming because I always wanted, not to be rude and to answer them. And who knew, like when I was kind of in that space, who knew like that person I was talking to could be the one. So there's a lot of like, oh my gosh, anxiety about trying to manage all these messages that I was getting. There were times when, I would stay up late, chatting with somebody online or on an app, and there'd be a lot of rush, a lot of connection, and then wake up the next morning and not hear from them and expecting to. There would be times when I would go on dates and know immediately from the beginning that it was not a good fit, and wouldn't be able to really express that during the date because I didn't want to be rude, right? So again, you're not alone with this experience. And it's, as much as you might like try to have fun in the dating process, sometimes it's, again, you kind of have to go through this growing pains to kind of get to where you want to go. So a few tips, I guess. And I say, of course, this is funny. I say there's no tip, trick, strategy, or hack for the dating apps. I guess here's what worked for me. That's what I'll say. Here's what worked for me. When you go on the apps, check your energy before you go on. Why are you going on? Slow down enough to be aware of what the purpose is of going on the apps. This is purpose-driven dating. Where's your energy? Are you going on to alleviate some boredom? Are you going on at the stoplight? In the car? Are you swiping in the car? Check your energy. Go. What worked for me is to go in the apps with purpose. My purpose is to find out if the man that is meant to be with me is on here. And I use it as a very sacred experience when I was on the apps. I even got into this rhythm of, as part of my morning routine, or I think I switched between morning and evening routine, but I set my timer for 10 minutes. That was it. 10 minutes on the app every day for 10 minutes, just like a routine. Sounds silly, but you're going to work here with your boundaries. You're going to work here with your energy. Check your energy before you go on. Is this a sacred experience for you? Check your energy while you're doing it. Do you feel outside of yourself, or you feel inside yourself? Are you really attached to the potential, or are you attached to the experience right now? So check that. Something else that really helped me with this was with being on the apps, as I was calling in my epic love, is if I was chatting with someone, is really, really honing in on being present and checking the energy of like, am I staying within myself? Am I staying within my power? or am I giving him all my power? And power not as in strength, but like, really checking with your body. Like, are you there and engaging, or are you really, trying to perform? Are you trying to get affirmation or validation? So be aware of that. Something else that helped me too was to have a boundary about how long that I would chat with somebody when I first matched with them. When I was dating on apps, I was there for a purpose, for sure. So make sure that you're there for a purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. It doesn't have to be, I'm here to find my long-term partner. It could be, I'm here to have sex. One thing I would say to this is, please be careful of making your purpose, I'm just here to see what's out there. That shit doesn't work. So find out what your purpose is before you even start this. Because if you're just there to see what's out there, you're just there to see, just there to have fun, be careful, because you're my chill woman, and that chill woman, I know you hear me, it takes you down a road of frustration, confusion, giving up your body that maybe you didn't want to. So find your purpose before you go on the apps, for sure. So what really helped me is to have I think I can't remember specifically, but I think it was like 10 messages or 10 days or something like that, where I would chat with a man online, on an app before I unmatched them with love. And the reason for that is that my purpose to be on the app was to find my epic love, no doubt. And that was very clear on my profile, very clear. And if you come in Dating You, I'll show you, we'll have a day where we do, where we work on each other's profiles, and I'll show you mine. But if I'm on there, my purpose is to find my epic love and to find a serious relationship, a committed relationship. I want a man who wants that too. I want a man who is pursuing me, pursuing a committed relationship. And if within that period of time, whatever period I did, like I said, I think I did like 10 days or 10 messages. And after that, I would ask him, hey, can we get on a phone call? And that was a really eye-opening point in that journey between he and I, or whoever that would be, because either he would step up and really pursue what he said he wanted to pursue, or no answer. And y'all, rejection is direction. Rejection is direction. So a part of me took that as rejection, but at the other point, the higher self part of me really realized that, okay, this man isn't stepping up. He either doesn't see my value and I don't have to prove it to him, or he's really not the man for me if he can't pursue me and he can't lead me in this process. So I dropped it off if I didn't hear from him. So there's just some few good ones. This whole conversation is really making me, maybe the March class will work on the dating apps. How about that for the Dating You? By the way, sign up for Dating You, because we're working, and you get the first month free. So there's really no point not to. We're working this in February on Authenticity 101. So how to stay authentic in who you are in relationship. And, it's all a through line. This is all getting you set up to find your epic love. So with all of this mumbo jumbo, what I really want to say is you do have the opportunity to learn. There's a different experience out for you on the dating apps. Don't listen to the mean parts of yourself, your friends, your family, even other coaches that you see on Instagram that say don't use the dating apps. I think that's preposterous. What you can do is you can use the dating apps, be secure and firm, have your nervous system regulated in who you are, to learn to listen to yourself, to listen to your intuition. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes repetition. I am a firm believer, as I mentioned, that this is a skill. This is a skill that you can learn. This is a skill that if you're like me, which I'm assuming that you are, you never learned. in your life. You only learned how to say yes, right? To make people happy. You only learned how to say yes to be nice. You only learned how to say yes to, to maybe like fulfill some inner need within yourself, but it really had to do with other people, right? So take your time with this, go back and re-listen, ask me some questions on Instagram. I'll be happy to go on and answer your questions, but this is important. And let me tell you this, I always say that, like when I'm a guest on other podcasts, that with my experience on dating apps and learning through that process, I don't think that I would have been able to receive my epic love in real life. And, hey, that's the dream. The whole grocery store dream, right? Is like, oh, a man starts, you start chatting with a man at the grocery store and you meet in real life. Y'all, everybody wants to meet their mate in real life. Even men do. Here is what I want to say to you, and this is some hard love, some tough love. Will you be ready? Will you be ready? And I think this is one of the big tools that we can use that is readily available to be ready to meet him in real life. And that's what happened. That's what happened with me. But it wasn't until that I was ready to receive him. And that's what I want from you, or for you. That's what I want for you. It's possible because it happened with me. And speaking of the grocery store, I do want to say this. Your magnetism, when you start to unlayer, you start to heal the deeper levels that you can't really get to because you've already tried in podcast therapy, books, whatever. Your magnetism is so there. It is undeniable when you start to unlayer. Undeniable. And I'll leave you with this story. On the beginning of this relationship that I'm in right now, by the way, I don't know how long this relationship is going to last. I feel like I should do another podcast about secure relationships, a secure attachment, of what I'm learning about it, because it is wild. It is a ride. So I want to put aside this idea that we've been ingrained with in the patriarchy or social media or fairy tales, really, even, of this idea of the length of a relationship determines the success of the relationship. I disagree with that. Full stop, wholeheartedly. I'll talk about that definitely on another podcast. Let me know if you want me to, actually, on Instagram. Anyways, so this current relationship that I'm in, which is the best relationship I've ever been in, the best man I've ever met in my life, the best support, the best love. Not that it's a competition, but it's definitely, eons away from where I was and what I see in my life, like my family. And so this is definitely a transitional character along with me in my life. This is my partner in growth. And I remember at the beginning of our relationship, we went to Trader Joe's and doing our thing, doing our shopping. I'm a pretty quick shopper. So we were there for like 10 or 15 minutes, and we had never really been out like in that kind of situation before, where it was like, semi-casual. We were just doing our thing, looking at all the good shit at Trader Joe's. And during the span of like 10 or 15 minutes, 3 women came up to me in Trader Joe's. Like, oh my God, you're glowing. I love your nails. I love your hair, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And, in my growth, I gotten used to that, right? Like, people see my light, and it's, for me, it's safe now to shine my light when it hadn't been safe before. And so I kind of gotten used to that experience. And he was just, we were in Trader Joe's. He was in one aisle. I think he was looking at the plants at the front. And he's just sitting there, like, observing me, watching me. And as we were checking out, like, I remember so vividly, like, I'm getting the chills right now as I'm speaking, but I remember so vividly, I was checking out, I pulled the card out of the thing, and he comes up behind me and he's tall. He leans down and he whispers in my ear, "You are a magnet. You are a magnet." My whole body lit up like a lightning bolt. God spoke to me through the chills that I was feeling. And what was like, I'm getting even like, wow. Every time, I'm never going to forget this ever. What's wild about that is that he had no idea of what I taught about the magnetic woman, about who I strive to be and who I help clients be through my healing and my work with myself and with others. And that was one of the best moments of my life because he saw me for who I was at my core. And then I picked myself up off of the floor of Trader Joe's because I melted. Like my body just completely relaxed. And that was the day that I realized that I never needed to perform for him again. Not to say that that hasn't flared up, because it will, because that's a very, very old part of me and young part of me. But what I just want to say with that story is that I'm not special. I'm unique, but I'm not special. And that experience is your experience. If you felt at all just a tingle of hope, if you saw the scene that I was in, if you heard the truth in my voice, this is possible for anybody. We just have to put ourselves in situations to heal. And that's why I'm here. Wow, that was a long one today, but I'm so grateful to share this space with you. You're amazing. You're loved. You're supported. I'll see you back here in 2 weeks. And before we go, a couple housekeeping items. If you do feel like supporting the show, I would gratefully receive your support with $1, $5, $10 donation per month. That helps with buying Lilli a coffee, helps with my team, that helps me with production with this, helps me with the energy that I expend in putting out this podcast. So thank you in advance for supporting me. I gratefully receive any of those donations for support. So just click the link in my bio and go to support, or not my bio. That's IG. In the show notes, yes. And then in closing, stay on the lookout for Dating You. Again, you get 1 month free in the community. So why the heck not? Come join us for February's class, which is Authenticity 101, staying authentic to who you are in relationship. We're going to do some deep level healing. We're going to do some co-regulation. This is for you if you are looking to call in your epic love. It's the process that I went through. And after that, after 1 month free, it's only $47 a month, y'all. Remember, you are perfect as you are. You don't need to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with you. You do have opportunities to heal, yes. But I want you to know that you are perfect as you are. You are love. You are light. And you are a magnet. I'll see you next time.